Welcome to class. We'll begin today in tabletop. Stacking your wrists under your shoulders. Let's take some circles with the hips. So we'll take big circles here, counterclockwise first, 3 times, 3 to 5 times, your choice, and then go in clockwise direction. Begin to make your way back up into tabletop. Point your fingers out toward the sides and shift your weight back and forth, stretching into the wrists. Next, begin to take your fingers back toward your knees. You can do one hand at a time or both at the same time. If you need a little more, you can shift your hips back toward your heels. Try to come to your first point of resistance. Not pushing past your edge. Then begin to release this. Come onto the tops of your hands, just a counter stretch to this. The last thing we'll do is come onto the tops of the hands, fingers point in. And as you inhale, try to make a fist come up onto the knuckles. And then exhale to release back down. Inhale up onto the knuckles. And exhale, release down. Do that a few more times. Begin to come back into your tabletop. Take some movement here. However you like to move around. And we'll begin to sink into our child's pose. And so the rest of the practice will hold our poses for about 2 minutes each. So settling in, finding a position that you can sustain, really getting into the muscles of the body. Take some deep breaths while you're here. Maybe you feel tight at first, but with each breath, you might be able to find some release in your muscles, the fascia. If you have trouble focusing, focus on your inhales and exhales. Also put on some music if you'd like to. Make this comfortable for you. If you're really tight, maybe grabbing a pillow to place under your torso for more support might feel good. Keep stretching forward through the fingers, relaxing hips toward heels. Our bodies are different each day. So being okay with where you are today, even though it might be different than tomorrow or yesterday. From here, begin to walk your hands over to the left side of the mat and stack your right hand on top of the left wrist. Feel a stretch in the right side of your body here. Keep sending hips back toward heels. Slowly come back toward the center and then make your way over to the other side, stacking the left hand on top of the right wrist. Notice if you're able to come a little bit deeper on this side, or maybe if you're not able to come as deep on this side as you were the other. Just noticing the difference between the two sides. Being aware of your body. Opening the sides of our body allows us to breathe deeper. Slowly start to come back up. Take your time. Then we'll come all the way down to our belly. To open the hips a little more, we'll start to come into a half frog. So beginning on the left side, take your left leg to about 90 degrees. Bend through the knee. The closer you take your knee up toward your chest, the more sensation you'll feel. Try to rest the forehead down on something here. Maybe taking the left ear to the mat. You'll feel a twist, or you can take the forehead down to the hands. Whatever you prefer here. So this is a gentle way to start to open up the hips and the groin. But doing this for this extended period of time will really get into the deeper tissues. Doing this practice before bed might help you to wind down at the end of your day. We'll keep the legs the same way that they are and begin to come up onto the forearms. Having the elbows under the shoulders. This just allows the back to bend here. And Sphinx pose arms with your half frog leg. And try to keep the shoulders relaxed if you feel that they're tight or maybe creeping up toward the ears. Nice neutral neck. We don't want to feel any strain here on the neck. So if looking down doesn't feel good, maybe look straight ahead. Just keep focusing your breath into those places that you're feeling the sensations. Maybe circle the head or sweep the nose back and forth. And then we'll gently release. Just allow yourself to be still for a minute. And then when you're ready, Coming to the other side. So taking the right knee to 90 degrees. Rest the opposite ear on the mat, or keep the head forward and down. Keep breathing here. Notice the difference in this side compared to the other. We'll begin to come into our back bend here, same thing we did on the other side. Playing with the idea of balancing your effort with your ease. So coming to a place where you can feel some work happening, but that you're able to find some relaxation and ease. So balance between the two. If you feel like you should be doing more, this is exactly what you need to be doing. Taking it easy. Opening up muscles and connecting to your breath. Begin to slowly release the leg and the torso. Windshield wiper the knees if that feels good. Begin to lift the left foot, bend the knee, circle the ankle a few times, and then grab for your foot behind you. This is a quad stretch. Can keep your forehead resting on your right forearm or the mat. And keep sending your heel toward your glute. Maybe start to bend the elbow. We'll be here for a little bit, so again, trying to find that balance between the effort and ease that you're making here. Try not to strain through the shoulder, not bending the knee so much that it hurts, just finding that sweet spot where you can hold this. Maybe as the time goes on, you start to bend your elbow a little more. You're almost through it. Keep going. Gently release that foot. Take a breath. And we'll move into the other side, grabbing for your right foot, trying to work the heel toward the glute. We're here for 2 minutes, and your time has already began. Notice where you're clenching or holding tension. Try to relax. You're nearly there. Slowly release your foot. Take some release movements. And another breath. Begin to press back up. Make your way into a comfortable seat. Extend your legs in front of you. Move the flesh away from the sits bones. Take an inhale, reach the arms up, hinge from the hips and fold forward. Seated forward fold. Don't worry about gripping, pulling yourself here. If you can touch your toes, fine. If not, no worries. Just relax. Make this more of a passive stretch. Notice how your lower back feels and your hamstrings. Deepen the breath. Can you find a little more softness here? and gently come back up. After our forward fold, we'll counter this by bending the back in the opposite direction. So you can slide your fingers under your sacrum, bending at the elbows, and then recline back. Maybe your head touches the ground, maybe it doesn't. Just feel the front side of your body opening here, the spine becoming long. You can point and flex the feet if that feels good to you. Maybe pointing the toes even more to stretch the front parts of the feet. Or just hang out where you are. Notice if the breath has become shallow. Bring yourself to a place where it can become deep. And slowly start to release all the way back down. Hug your knees into your chest. And begin to rock all the way back up. We'll come into our frog pose here. So you can set up long ways if you need something under your knees. Toes can touch like child's pose and then come down to the forearms. That's option 1. Option 2 is to take your legs as far apart as they go. Take something under the chest to support you. Feels good. Flex the feet so feet are at 90. And then come down as far as you can with your back nice and flat. So that's where the support comes in, to keep your back flat. So you don't want to have too much arch in the lower back or rounding. We're here for a little while, so settle in, come into a place that you can sustain this. That's not too intense on your knees or your inner thighs or the lower back. There's a lot going on here. If your mind has wandered, if you can't focus, once again, focus on your inhales and exhales. Maybe counting them, or even repeating to yourself, inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. So on. You've got this. And to come out, take it nice and slow, press back up, and then allow yourself to come back to the center. Take a second by sitting your hips back on your heels or coming down to the stomach. Just breathe. Allow yourself a second after that really long hold in an intense pose. And then begin to take your blanket or your pillow under your sacrum. So your head is supported here. Open the chest, this thoracic spine. And take your feet together, knees apart. If the legs need to be together, then you can extend them in front of you or have your knees bent and feet on the ground. Just make this feel good for you. I do this pose a lot in yoga. Grounding, opening pose. You're supported by the earth, but you're still opening your chest, your throat, your back, the legs. Notice the sounds that are around you. The air on your skin. Being aware of your surroundings. And your body. And breath. Reach the arms above the head. Come back up, remove your prop. Reach the arms again. take some more movements, maybe coming forward. Just giving yourself what you need right here. Coming back to a comfortable seat. Noticing how you feel one more time. Take a breath in, let it out through your mouth. Another breath in and out through the mouth. One more time, in and out. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me. Namaste.